Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Yankees Mania. So again, last week it was a pretty short episode. We were just mostly discussing how basically nothing has been getting done in terms of the MLB Lockout. However, we do have a little bit of an update on that this week, as I'm currently watching the 49er Cowboy game right now. And the 49ers just scored a touchdown. So, my picks aren't looking too well. But, okay, besides that, so there was a meeting this week between the Players Association and MLB, where MLB had a proposal which was swiftly declined by the Players Association. Again, at this point, I am very concerned that the season will not start on time. And I'm not just talking about spring training games. I'm talking about actual regular season games. And it has to be a concern to everyone involved. It's just really bad for the sport. And again, I hate to be a broken record, but it just looks terrible. They look incompetent. I mean, the NBA is doing well right now. You got Steph Curry doing what he does. The NFL's in playoff mode, having some of their highest ratings of all time. They have MLB, who's been locked out it just looks terrible. The people running the sport have no idea what they're doing. It looks terrible. I don't know what... I don't even know. It's honestly embarrassing. People are discussing, though, apparently, that both of the teams, they're going to set not the teams, but the Players Association and the league are going to set a deadline, like a personal deadline, I guess, just so. Because, again, the one thing that both these sides do have in common is that they both do not want to lose money. They do not want to lose money. But at this point, I mean, there's literally nothing getting done. So I'm a little concerned. But, that's the update on the MLB lockout. Hopefully we will be back soon, because pitchers and catchers report, at this point, within a month. I mean, or at least they should be within a month. I mean, mid-February usually is, and it's currently January the 16th. So, again, that's one thing. However, there is some good baseball news for the Yankees, where the Yankees the Yankees over this past week have been on the international market. They signed the number one international free agent, I believe, I don't want to butcher his name, but Roderick Arias. So he's a number one international free agent. I believe he's Venezuelan, and he's a shortstop. And he has said, light just turned off here. That's the production we have in. I'll leave it like that for now. Why not? But Mr. Arias, I'm gonna fix this. This is ridiculous. Oh, faulty bulb. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so Arias, by the way, which even to me is pretty insane. Arias is 17 years old, so he's younger than me, which is like, I still can't like wrap my head around that, how insane that is. But yeah, so that's great. And apparently Arias fits all the markers. He checks all the boxes, which is really, and again, obviously he's several years away, but listen, keep getting these young shortstops for me, and I will be a happy camper. But, again, I believe the scatter report, I was reading an article earlier about this. He is very, very, very talented, obviously, no doubt about it. Apparently he checks all the boxes. Good hitter, good fielder. I'm just trying to pull up the scatter report here. But, again, it's just difficult for me to... It's just tough, because I just want to be talking about actual hot stove, what's going on in the actual league, but you can't do that right now, so this is what we got to do. But the word on him is he is the real deal. Him and Dominguez, again, so the Yankees, one thing they've done that I have to compliment them on, they have a lot of international spending money, and they've done it and they've used it over the past few years with Dominguez and now Arias. Apparently, they are looking into the next January, where for the other number one international free agent which the Yankees are apparently interested in. So, I mean, I still just can't believe. I mean, Dallas just does not look good right now. It's not. Cowboys bettors, I don't know. I'd be a little worried. But, listen, this is what the story is going to be for the MLB. They have to get on the field as quickly as possible, and they need a rebranding. Because what's going on right now is not sustainable. It's tough to evaluate a sport like baseball, to me, because on all the national networks, baseball is not really spoken about that much. It really isn't. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's not one of the most popular sports, which would, I mean, this is brutal. But it's a very localized sport, baseball. It's not a very national sport, nationally popular sport. And that's, to me, is because the individual players are not as famous in baseball as they are in other sports like basketball, where it's a more individualized sport, where you have the networks, ESPN, FS1, all talking about LeBron James, Russell Westbrook. And that's not a criticism. I'm just saying it's how it is. NFL, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, again, because the quarterbacks control the game. Therefore, they're going to garner the most attention in the national media. One player... Oh, this is just nuts. This is nuts. The Cowboys are getting slaughtered. But, again, it's not a matter of... But, again, I'm sorry. I just completely lost space right just there. But, again, you have to... They need to rebrand their image. I don't know how they can do that, but that's not my job. You would think commissioners who have millions of dollars, these owners with billions of dollars, would be able to come to a solution. But there's nothing, because they just... I don't want to say they're incompetent, but it sure looks like it right now, and it's tough to come to another conclusion than that. But, again... but back to my earlier point about a guy like, for example, Mike Trout, who does not garner anywhere near the amount of attention that a guy like LeBron James would get, obviously. But the reason for that is because it's so much harder to make an individual impact in a sport like baseball as opposed to a sport like basketball or even football, for that matter. Specifically for the quarterback. In football, I'm talking mostly about the quarterback. But it's difficult because, again, Mike Trout, best player in the league for the last decade, the Angels are horrible every single year. They have no chance. So, again, how does baseball fix this? I don't know. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a problem because TV deals, baseball still racks in money, which is why I think when it comes down to it, they'll come to an agreement before regular season games come because... No one wants to lose money. But I don't know how that would entail, honestly. I mean, someone's going to have to blink. Will it be the players or will it be the owners? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But it's just really embarrassing. It's tough to watch. But once the lockout ends, the Yankees obviously have to make a significant amount of moves because it's just not, this is really pissing me off. I'm not going to lie with this light. But the Yankees clearly have to make a series of moves. First one on the list is shortstop. Please get me. At this point, I'll take a Trevor Story. Told me that 2 months ago. I'd have said, fuck no, I don't want Trevor Story. But right now, after everything that's happened, they've done absolutely nothing, which is, again, I guess it was a business move by the Yankees. They suspect they would have... Again, the Yankees, in my opinion, bet on the fact that the lockout would be favorable for the owners because, why would you wait until after the lockout to make free agent signings and trades if you didn't think that? That makes no sense. If I'm wrong, then that means the Yankees are more incompetent than I even thought. But it's embarrassing because the Yankees are like the Mets now. It's crazy. Something needs to be done. And I'm not going to say Steinbrenner should sell the team, but he's a businessman. He's not a baseball man like his father. George, all he cared about was winning. And I'm not going to call Hal cheap. I'm not going to call him a cheap because he spends a lot of money on the team, which he should. But he is not spending the amount of money, the amount of revenue the New York Yankees, the brand that the fans produce. It's not anywhere near. The Yankees are not spending anywhere near enough to reimburse that, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So, again, it's just so tough. So, again, you got to get a guy like Story. I want to say Correa, but I'd be really surprised if that happens at this point. But obviously, I'll take Carlos Correa in a heartbeat. Give me Correa, give me Story, give me a shortstop. Another person I've been hearing the Yankees might be interested in is, what's it called? With the Twins for a trade. Garner a trade for maybe Mitch Garver and Max Kepler, who would play the outfield. Again, it makes the team better, which I'll take. Because I do think that it's time for the Yankees to move on from Sanchez. And I hope he proves me wrong next year, but I just doubt it. Because I've been saying the same thing for the last 5 years, and it always goes wrong for me. So, I'm done. Get me a guy like Kepler. I have no trust in Hicks' health. I mean, the guy's hurt all the time. I love the guy, but come on. The guy's hurt all the time. But other than that, It's tough. And again, you could sign a guy like Rodon, who has injury issues, but is a very, very, very good left-handed pitcher, starting pitcher. Would the Yankees be willing to hit that price that he wants? I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so. That's a pretty elite three. Cole, Severino, Rodon are the top three. Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. But, so yeah, I mean, again, for now, that's really all I got. I mean, it's just it's tough for me, especially someone who loves baseball and loves the Yankees, that there's just not much to talk about week in and week out right now because of the lockout. It's just tough, but here's to hoping in 2022 that we will have a great baseball season and the Yankees will be 2022 world champions. Fingers crossed, but don't hold your breath. So until next time, I'll see you.